Okay, so we've got 2.5, number 15 in the book, number 8 online. So write down number 8, so I won't get halfway through the problem and you ask what? What number? Number 8. First of all, is it a test question? Yes. I like these. Why do I like these? Because you don't have to graph it, okay? The ones that you have to graph, I try not to put those on the test, but sometimes I don't have a choice because it's the only one I got to choose from, okay? But this one is a good question. It is a test question. So go ahead and write it down. I'll write it bigger for those that want to sit on the back row that can't ever see. I don't think I got anybody up there. Y'all want to sit in the front. Where's the rest of Pendleton campus?
I don't know.
It was Friday the 11th. I'm sorry. What is it? Wednesday the 11th. I'm sorry. It must have some kind of significance. We should cancel class today and Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to draw it. And plus 4. That's the y-intercept. What type of, we got a function that's going which way? Opposite. So that means it's opening downward. It is a what? Parabola, and it is wide or narrow? It's wide. So I'm just going to draw something like this. Okay, I have no idea if that's about right, but I'm just drawing it. Okay? So we know that these two are what? Not it. Because those are the only two with the parabola going downward. Okay? Now, where is x less than 2? Well, that's right here. X less than 2. I'll highlight that. X less than 2 is this way, right? Everybody with me? So that means I've got to erase all of this. Because the domain for that part of the parabola, now do we need a solid circle or a closed circle? A closed circle, because it's equal to. So there's that function. So let's do this function in blue. It's to the first power, so that means it's a linear problem. We know that it starts at 0 because that's the y-intercept. And it's 1/5, so that means it's 1 up, 5 over. So 1 up, 5 over, 1 up, 5 over, 1 down, 5 over. So it looks like that. Okay, let's take our highlighter. And what is our domain? Our domain for that function is greater than what? 2. So let's find 2. X is equal to 2. 1, 2. So our domain for the second function is that way, right? So that means I've got to erase all of this. And what kind of circle goes on the blue line? An open circle. Now just match up which one it is. And you should feel good about yourself. So which one is it? Charlie or Delta? Delta. Anybody know what what Delta, what Alpha, Bravo, Charlie? The what? Yes, good job. It's also called the NATO alphabet. Golly, I didn't expect that. I feel faint. Everybody's supposed to sit there like a DA. You're still going to fail. We feel good about that? That's a good test question. And I also like to give multiple choice, because even if you're non-sentient, you should be able to deduce at least one or two of them. Some of y'all need to Google non-sentient or sentient, because you probably don't know what it means. Okay, it means cognitive, aware, being a human being versus a robot. You're sentient. Okay, 2.5 book, number 17, number 9. Online. Is this a test question? Yes, it is a test question. So I want you to do this one. I'm going to blow it up because I'm going to rewrite it. There you go. I want y'all to draw it. Now remember, make your graph a little bit bigger so you will be able to draw it without having to, make a mess out of it. And use different colors if you can.
Oh, that's all I have.
I know. I told you not to buy anything, didn't I? I told you the only thing to bring to class was a pencil. Y'all suck. Where's the third musketeer? She not here?
Gone.
She drunk.
No, she's coming.
She hung over in the ditch.
No.
Too much vodka.
Yeah, too much vodka.
Oh, man.
Yep, we should cancel class. Friday the 13th coming, so we should cancel class. 100%.
We should also cancel class for like the next 2 weeks after.
Well, you know why I think she canceled class? Because she's probably used to the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday classes, and she thinks it is stupid to go back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, and she probably thinks that Friday classes are a waste of time. That's probably. And any chance she gets, she probably cancels class. I don't blame her.
She isn't gonna do it.
Everybody was talking about you before you got here.
Last class on Fridays.
What?
Her last class on Fridays.
I don't blame her. I mean, I'm not fussing. I'm fussing because if I was to even mention, if I was to even say, I'm thinking about canceling class Friday, I'd get a phone call this afternoon.
Can we get some food Friday though?
You shoot, yeah, then just leave Pendleton and Oconee campus out.
Hey, y'all bring your own food and just watch it. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm for real. She gonna leave y'all hanging out to dry. Oconee and Pendleton, just.
It just so happens you live over there.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all
I would, but if I did, somebody would say something. There's always one. Always remember that.
I won't be
Mr. McClure?
Yes, Hubert.
Hubert, there's,
Yes.
for some reason, the screen cap from the 9/11 news section is still on our screen, and we can't see the whiteboard.
How long is that?
How long has that been?
It's been like that for a while.
And y'all haven't said anything.
Not until now, no.
Yeah, I appreciate you waiting until 10, 15 minutes.
My bad.
I ain't kidding you. And I'm not judging y'all, but I'm going by classes. Y'all need to learn to communicate. I had another class. 15 minutes went by and they said, your microphone's not working.
It be that way sometimes.
I ain't kidding you. I'm not fussing at you. I'm just saying. It's not just you. It's
I got you.
the Pendleton campus. They won't talk to you even if you ask them a question. It's not just this class. It's all Pendleton. When you walk in that door in Pendleton, it's like it sucks your voice box out. I mean, they can't talk. It's just like they just look at their laptops or they look at the screen and they don't say a word. They just look at it. It's like a bunch of introverts. I don't know what's going on with Pendleton. I really don't. Okay. Let me resend it. How about that? Or if I'm going to try to resend it, okay? And if it doesn't come up, because I can't see your screen. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
It should blink. Okay, it should be coming your way. There it is.
Yeah.
Now hit accept. Or does it say something?
It says it's loading. Okay, we got it now. Appreciate
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I don't know. I wish there was some way you could refresh from that end, but I don't know of one. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I'm going to use 3 different colors. I don't care about, you can find the multiple choice after we do it, but I don't want you to look at the multiple choice and guess. That's only in emergencies. Okay? Like you're running out of time. So, I'm going to take my handy dandy blue marker, and we're going to draw this one. All right? 2x plus 0. F of x is equal to 2x plus 0. So it crosses the y-axis at what?
0.
0. If you get that wrong, don't tell anybody. And then 2 over 1. So 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. So our line looks like that. So let's look at take my handy dandy highlighter, and we'll use the blue color. And what is our domain? -5 to what?
-1.
Now, that means I don't have arrows, doesn't it? So I've got to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5 to -1. And I need to take my highlighter, and that's my domain right there. So I need to extend this blue line and use your imagination a little bit. There we go. And what goes on this end?
A closed circle.
A closed circle. And what goes on this end?
Open circle.
An open circle at there. And I erase the rest of the line. No yawning in class, please. Get enough sleep at home. Go to bed. Okay, so there's that line. So let's go to, I don't like to use red, so let's don't use red. Let's use, well, we'll have to. Let's go to magenta. All right? -2. If y is equal to a number, it's parallel to what axis? The x. It's always the opposite. So -2, 1, 2. And we've got a line that looks like that. Now I'm going to draw it after we do the... So I take my handy dandy magenta highlighter, and my... Right there is -1 to what? Well, there's a problem. Why? You can't do that because -1 is right here, and y is equal... I'm sorry. I just figured out that I'm wrong. Hold on a minute. I know. This is vodka. I'm having a Grim Reaper this morning. Rum, vodka, tequila, bourbon, scotch. You know, you mix them all together. All right, let me try that again. -2 is right there, okay? Right there. So I'm going to draw it's parallel to the x-axis. So here we go. I'm going to draw it like this. Okay, now, here is my -1 to what? 0. So it's a little bit right here. So I'm going to draw that right here. And what kind of circle goes on the left side? Closed, which cancels out the blue one. Exactly. Ain't that pretty? And then this is an open circle at 0. Now we're going to do x squared. I'll do it in dang old per day. All right. X squared minus 2. We have a y-intercept at 2, -2. We know that it's opening upward. So we know that it's going something like this. So let's take our handy dandy green highlighter, and there's our domain from 0 to 2. 0 to 2. So we've got to keep everything on the right and erase everything on the left. Now, what goes, let me get my green marker. What kind of circle here and what kind of circle here? Closed. So that cancels out the magenta open circle. And 1, 2. So that is a sketch of what you should have. Now let's pull up the A, B, C, and D, and let's see which one it is. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. These are not that hard if you're presented how to do them. But what happens is the teacher usually blah, 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 throws one up on the board, and then what? You're like lobotomized. So I'm going to erase. Okay, y'all see what it looks. Let's see if I can move it.
Yesterday, I got a PhD in biology.
You got what? Did you say assaulted? What did you say? What did she say?
I said I got a PhD in biology yesterday.
Oh, is somebody in there that's already got their PhD? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's me.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm not doing that. Somebody tell me which one it looks like. I think it looks like Charlie.
It does look like Charlie.
I mean, you
Dang
don't
old
look like
Willy
anything
Wonka.
else.
Dang old Charlie. Dang old Charlie Bucket.
Sometimes I wonder much in this thing.
Nice trying to read it.
I'm trying to get there where I can write the answer. It won't. There we go. And let's see if it's right. Let me get back up here and the things I do for y'all, I should just do it and just, hit the answer. There we go. And you feel good about yourself. So now you've got 2 more piecewise functions that can be on the test. I do not do the stair step because the stair step is confusing to a lot of people and you never see it in other classes. So you'll see this one before you'll see the stair step. So I don't even go over the stair. I go over it, but I don't care nothing about it as far as a test question. All right, so we did that one. Everybody feels good about themselves. Next, number 15. So we're taking a jump. 35/15. Okay, this one is a test question. So I'm going to blow it up and let you look at the sketch. I want you to figure out what the equations are for that function, for those 2 functions. And that means I want you to write f of x and then a bracket. F of x is equal to a bracket. And then I want you to put one function here, the domain there, one function here, and the domain there. That's what they're wanting. So take a minute. And if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Just write it up as what? Failure. Good job. Got 2 or 3 people in unison on that one. People need to have decorum, or what is it called, etiquette, about remembering people that have, some people don't, some people are just, right? I'm going to try to shut up.
Oh, slow, I got this.
Just better shut up. Some people just love drama. They do. They love drama. And they love to incorporate drama whenever they can. Okay, 9/11 is about 9/11. It's not about your cousin's brother or sister who was a firefighter that died when a mobile home fell on them. Okay, that's not what it's about. You do that whenever the person died. You memorialize the person You don't incorporate it with 9/11. Oh. I love it when people say, Happy Memorial Day. You don't say Happy Memorial Day. Memorial Day is when people do what? They died. You don't say Happy Memorial Day. And Veterans Day is not the same thing as Memorial Day.
I think I did.
No, you didn't.
I probably did.
You did.
Honestly.
I did
did.
it wrong.
What'd you do?
I failed.
No, I probably did.
All right. So I'm going to color.
You gotta remember, you gotta finish out the whole line.
I'm going to color this one.
You gotta do the white.
I'm going to highlight this one Verde. Okay? So we're going to write in green on this one.
I failed.
You failed?
I
Good
did.
job.
Thank you.
All right, so let's think about the domain on this one. The domain on this one is, what does that arrow mean? Negative what? Negative infinity. And where does it end? Negative 3. That bracket and parenthesis. Okay, so there's the domain. Now you can rewrite that as x is between negative infinity and 3. You can do that, that's fine. Or you can do it in interval notation. On a test, I'll take either. Now it may mark it wrong, but you see me after class and I'll fix it. Because most algebra teachers like interval notation over set builder notation. If it was set builder notation, it would be x less than, equal, or less than, doesn't touch, sorry. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here. Less than infinity and equal to what? Negative 3? Okay, that would be set builder notation. If you wrote it in interval notation, it would be that. Everybody see it? Okay, either one. I don't care on a test, but on the homework, it may want you to write something different. Now, first of all, let's decide what kind of line this is. Well, we got 2 points. Here's a point, and here's a point. So what's this point? Somebody give me this point. Negative 5 and what? Negative 3? And what's this point? So we've got 2 points. We got to find the what? The slope. So m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now which way do we read?
That's right.
So this is x sub 1, y sub 1. This is x sub 2, y sub 2. Plug and chug. Negative 1 minus what? The negative 3. And the negative 3 minus what? Negative 5. You remember when I told you to use parentheses?
Yes.
This is why. Negative 1 plus 3 is what?
2.
Negative 3 plus 5 is, so our slope is 1. Now we use our point slope equation. And which point do you think I'm going to use? Keep it simple. Negative 3, negative 1. So we put a negative 3 here, a negative 1 here, and a negative 3 here, and a 1 there. Y plus 1 is equal to x plus what? 3 minus 1. Y is equal to what? X plus 2. So you can put x plus 2 right there. Now you do The next one, I'm gonna color it Amarillo. Y'all are impressed. Amarillo. I said that one time and had a redneck in the back of the room. That's in Texas. Yeah, you're just very intelligent.
Excuse me, wouldn't it be x plus 1?
It might be. Where?
X, because you're subtracting the 1.
Yeah, minus. Yeah. And then when you bring it over, it becomes a what?
-1.
Didn't I think that? Well, I did. Make sure I didn't make a mistake.
No, you weren't.
It's x plus
Did you just go up?
Let's see what happens when I. Let's see what happens when I do a line. Let's check. Oh shoot.
You always silent, son.
What's the y-intercept? What's the y-intercept?
It looks like 2.
What's the y-intercept?
2.
So I think I got it right, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm a winner.
Yeah. I mean, you did that at work when you could have just did rise on rise. But it's okay.
I know, but I didn't want to do it your way.
That's like why I got that. But
Okay, so let's do what is the domain for this function? Well, it starts at where? -3, and it goes to what?
Infinity.
And you can't touch infinity. Can you touch -3? No.
can you do the notation?
Yeah, that would be x such that x is between what? Greater than what? Greater than -3 and what? To infinity.
Okay, period. Can you come here for a second?
Yeah, sure. Let me come over here and give your individual attention.
Yes. That would be great. Okay, I'm confused. Do I have to put that infinity in between?
That's fine.
I can just keep on reading?
Yeah, that's fine. You can just say that.
Okay. So
Yeah, you can say x is greater than what? -3. You can say that too. You could say x such that x is greater than what? You can do that.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now what? Now this is easy.
How you get that cut?
If you get a parallel line, that means y is equal to a number. So y is equal. Oh shoot. Y is equal to a number. What's the number? 1. Y is equal to 1. So all you need to do down here is put 1. So I'm going to put it in yellow so you'll know it goes with, and that's it. Question, gripe, complaint. So, write all that down.
You know the slope is.
Let's go down and look and see what the answers are.
That's just what you're trying to say.
Here it is. X plus 2. X is less than 3. That's what I just wrote. And y is equal to 1. X is greater than -3. That's it. Y'all starting to understand it?
Yes, sir.
Good.
I like these.
It's called communication. It helps both ways.
That's what these called.
Yeah.
These are blessings.
It's amazing what communication can do.
I feel like it's the easiest.
Y'all make a note of that, Pendleton and Oconee. They ask questions, they get it. It works. It works really well.
Hey, Mr. Hubert, You agreed that this.
Okay, be
this
quiet.
thing we do now?
What? What?
Never mind.
No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
That was funny.
What?
That hurt my feelings.
Okay.
But anyway.
Are you offended?
No, not really. Okay.
Dang it, I'll have to try harder. What? Go ahead, I'll shut
These
up.
P-spot functions are easy things.
Well, think so.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
yeah.
All right, this is 45/18. 45/18. I feel like I'm doing y'all's homework for you. Okay, this is,
These are the ones you told us to run away from.
yeah, just run as fast as you can. All right, use the graph, but I will put this on a test to do a graphing calculator, but I probably won't.
Yeah, don't do that, because I'm just going to check.
But y is equal to double brackets x minus 3. Why has it got 3.0 like that? I don't know why they do that. It looks odd. Okay? Now, first of all, let me ask you a question. What does the -3 tell you since it's outside the brackets? It's a, what kind of shift? Vertical shift of what? -3. These brackets mean stair step. So you need to highlight those brackets and put stair step. So which one is it not? It's not A or C, because that's at +3 and this one's at +3. It can't be D because it's not stair step. Oh my gosh, it's B. I bet you $1 to a donut, it's B.
$1 to a donut. You gonna bring us donuts? Right?
No, I can't, because Pendleton, you know, they're very sensitive.
What if I bring you
If
some
I bring y'all something, Pendleton, they'll go crazy. I'm not talking about the students. It's Pendleton campus. That's why we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes again, because Pendleton threw a temper tantrum. The teachers are temper tantrum, yeah.
I don't like
They don't like
You better be
change.
so
They still, there's people up there that still use blackboards. They request blackboards and overhead projectors in their rooms. We got one here that requests a VCR and a TV.
Wait,
You
what?
lying.
A VCR and a TV.
Yeah.
Who was charging for grades?
No.
Was that here?
So,
Okay. It's called T-Rex syndrome. They're dinosaurs. And I'm a dinosaur too, but at least I stay with technology. I mean, but I'll tell you why I'm like that. Because when I was coming through Clemson, when I was coming through there, the computers had just hit the classrooms. Okay? I was in there between 92 and 94. And that's when the Macs were hitting the classroom. And that's when the IBMs were hitting the classrooms. And I came through the last 2 years at Clemson with computers in the classroom. And then when I started at Tri-County, we just had got, you know, you remember I don't know if y'all remember this, but y'all remember the graphing calculators on the overhead? I don't know if you remember that, but it was a little screen that went on the overhead projector, and I got those. I got one of those. I had to fight to get one. And I used that in class. And then we got these. I remember the smartboard came out. Oh, that was great. I couldn't believe that. And I was doing all kinds of stuff on the smartboard. Then we got the Promethean. Then we got this. And this is kind of like a Rolex. But, I mean, it's a real good system. But we have people that won't even use these. They'll take these markers, turn that off, and write on the whiteboard. And they fuss because they have to erase all the time. Well, you don't have to erase it. You just keep hitting the add button, or you can hit the erase button right here. But you can't tell them that. It's very strange. But you'll see it. In the real world, you'll see it. Okay, we just did number 18, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to erase that one, if you don't mind. Number 19, and then we're finished except for 2.6, and we'll get into that today. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes since we got so much time in this class.
For real.
There's your stair step. Now, okay, you don't have to think very much. What is the one if it's in the brackets? What kind of shift? So where is your horizontal shift to the left? So let's take out the ones that are not to the left. This one's not. That one's down. This one's to the right. So which one has a negative? This one don't have it. This one's to the right.
Charlie.
So it's Charlie. Good job. I'm gonna teach y'all how to.
Wait, pause.
They're gonna say somebody's gonna call me not a communist, a terrorist, because I'm making y'all learn the NATO alphabet.
Wait, is it?
Can you please pause real quick?
You already told us you're a
What?
terrorist.
Okay, wait.
You already.
I thought that
Because
was
you're a member of the
pre-established.
NRA, so therefore you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all kinds of terrorists. I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I'm a Southerner, and I'm a NRA member. So I'm a triple terrorist.
That's the worst kind.
hmm
Can you pause, please?
Terrorist.
No, I'm not pausing.
Or can you
Okay, what's your question?
elaborate on?
I know what your question is. I bet I know what your question is. How can I see the horizontal shift? Okay, you go by the origin. Okay, the stair step, you go by the origin. All right, look at the origin, where it crosses. On the D, delta. What is the function doing on the origin? It moves one place to the what? Right. See there? Right? Let me get my handy dandy. Right here. This is one place to the right. See there?
Okay, yeah.
This, this is one, does this one move? Not really, because that solid dot is right there. It hadn't moved. You could say it's one place to the right, but look at the line right here. The line is going through the origin, see? Here, the line is not going through the origin. The line is going through 1. So that has a horizontal shift of 1 to the right. This doesn't have a shift. What does this one have? This one's going in the wrong what? Direction. That would be a negative in front of the X or a negative in front of the bracket. So what's the only one that has a vertical shift, a horizontal shift to the left? Right here, because where's the line? See? You go with the solids. Okay? It helps. No stealing electricity. Capiche? All right. So that's your homework question. See what happens when you do homework? You send questions, you get answers. It's called a process. It's called learning.
I'm scared
What's
of
that? No comprendo.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go. Let's go back to the handy dandy. And it just disappeared. So 2.6. I've got about what? 4 minutes, or I got what? 10 minutes? I got 14 minutes. Oh, we're good. So let me pull up the handy dandy 2.6. Now that means look at your outline. Now, of course, I know we're not having a test, but if this was a regular section, I went through this the other day, we would be pulling up a test probably Friday or Monday. Okay? Since this is online class too, since I'm putting the two tests together, we're going to keep on going. So Friday or Monday, depending on how many homework questions you send me, we will be going into chapter 3 next. We're not going to have a test. Okay? All right, so here we go. Let me hit the handy dandy slideshow, move this over, hit this, hit this, hit this. Oh, we had a teacher last semester, and he did not understand what I was doing here by showing this, because when he pulled it up, it had like 3 or 4, and all he had to do was hit this and hit this to primary, and it would show when he did that, and it would have the whiteboard markers on it. He just couldn't understand it. I tried all semester to try to get him to do it. He just couldn't do it. Let's see what they see over at Pendleton. They see the white, they see the whole board, and then I can write on it. But he just couldn't figure that out. It was hard. He tried. Now, I'm not going to do this right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go here and here. I'm not going to do the slides because that's kind of... All right. Now, I want you to remember back in pre-algebra. Back in pre-algebra, I told you, or your teacher told you, that you had y, or you were told that you had x plus 2, and you wanted to add x minus 1. And then you were told take x plus 3 minus, let's make this minus a negative 2x minus 6. And then you were told to take x times x plus 3, and that's multiplication. And then you were told x squared plus x divided by x. All right, so you've got several forms of pre-algebra problems here, and you were told to do these, and this is how you did them. You did distributed the 1, and you got x plus 2 plus x minus 1. X plus x is what? 2x, and 2 minus 1 is? Okay? And then you distributed the positive 1 here, and the negative 1 here, and that gave you x plus 3 minus, or plus 2x plus what? Plus 6, and that gives you a 3x plus 9. And everybody's happy. That's pre-algebra, easy stuff. This is multiplication, so you distributed, and that would give you x squared plus 3x. You also were introduced to the FOIL here. You know, FOIL, first, outer, inner, first, outside, inside, last. And around here, first, outer, inner, last. And here, you were told to divide, and you went, okay, that's x plus 1. Okay? So, all of these things you were taught in pre-algebra. Everybody remember this?
Yes.
Well, now, that's redneck stuff, okay? You can't do it like that anymore because you're not sophisticated. Now, you do this. F of x is equal to x plus 2, and g of x is equal to x minus 1, and I would like for you to give me f plus g of x.
Oh, yeah.
Same stuff that you learned back in pre-algebra. What do? Same thing. You do exactly the same thing. You just do x plus 2 plus x minus 1. So if you want to hold your pinky up while you write this, go ahead. Because is there any difference in the mechanics of the problem? No. F of x is equal to x plus 3, and g of x is equal to negative 2x minus 6. And I would like for you to give me x minus g of x. And what do? You do the same thing that you did in pre-algebra. So the whole point of this is to show you, I guarantee you somebody in here has went through functions and didn't have a clue what they were doing when they were doing the same thing that they did in pre-algebra. Okay? So that would be x plus 3 minus 2x minus 6. And you get the same answer. Now, what about composition, Hubert? Well, that's what we're fixing to talk about. Because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think most of you know how to do these. And if you do these, you can do these. This is what f times g of x looks like. And f divided by g of x looks like. Okay, that's the difference. So I'm not going to sit here and go over what you learned back in pre-algebra. But I'm going to go over Fog and God because you probably get confused with Fog and God. F composed of G and G composed of F. Okay?
I remember looking at that.
Back a long time ago, you did this back in algebra 1 or 2. Y is equal to x plus 2. And 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. And this is called solving system of equations. What did you do with that x plus 2?
Plugged it into Y.
And that's exactly the words I wanted you to plug and chug. Plug and chug. And plug and chug is a 25-cent word for substitution. So have you done substitution before?
Yes.
Yes. F composed of G, G composed of F composed of F, G composed of G. They're all substitution. Okay, so let's look at it. F of x is equal to x plus 2, and g of x is equal to x squared. I would like for you to give me f composed of g. Now, the way that you attack this is you, remember, write this with parentheses. And then substitute that in the parentheses. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite x plus 2 with a big what? Set of parentheses. Everybody see that? And now I'm going to plug in x squared. And that's going to give me f, don't forget your pinky, f composed of g is equal to x squared plus 2. Now you do g composed of f. Don't forget to hold your pinky up when you do it now. You know, when you're drinking tea.
There's a lot of fog outside.
What are you talking about? G composed of F. So that means I'm going to rewrite G with a big A set of what? Parentheses, and I'm going to plug what into it?
F of X is
So a big set of parentheses squared, and what am I going to plug in there? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear him mumble.
X plus 2.
X plus 2. Oh my gosh, are we finished? No, you have shortcut number 1. X squared plus 4x plus 4.
Yeah.
So your answer is not this. Your answer is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now I want you to do f composed of f. That's false. F composed of f. So I'm going to rewrite f with a big set of what? Parentheses. And what am I going to plug into it?
X plus 2.
F. So f composed of f is x plus 4. Now you do g composed of g.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now out of all of 2.6, this is the most confusing to students. And you just got to remember, the first letter, big set of parentheses. The second letter, going into those parentheses. And that's a Hubertism. You're not going to see that in any book.
I will
What's your favorite
remember.
color?
What?
What's your favorite color?
Yellow. Why? Why'd you ask that?
I will remember the voice whenever I do these.
What?
I will remember
Yes, you
the
have to do that. And hold your pinky up.
I will. I will on the keyboard.
Settle down, Pendleton. Okay, I think it's time to go. Y'all can work on 2.6. Let me go ahead and turn the recorder off.